Hello. Hello. Can you hear me all right? Are all systems operating as they should be? It's been a while since I've done this, so not 100% sold that I set everything up correctly. Haley Bailey, good to see you. Emmanuel Fontes, hello. Rocker11, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Let's see, Josh Dunn Fan Club, good to see you. Your mom is listening to City Walls right now. That's good. I respect that. Audio's good? Let me know if you can hear me. Seems like you can, because you haven't started saying you can't yet, but... Yep, cool. All right. 5.25 pilots. Hello, Perligo. This is Riley. Oh, good to see you. Changed my name and profile picture. Glad to have live streams back. I'm glad to be back. Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but let me just silence my phone. I don't know if you remember, but back in December, when I did the Christmas live stream, my last live stream, I said I wanted to take a break of about a month from live streaming. And then I turned around this week and realized it has been 2 months, basically. So, yeah, a little awkward. Time flies. But I'm glad to be back. Glad to be bringing these back. Today's going to be pretty short. I just had a little window today to hop on the live again, get warmed up. I don't think we're going to go back to weekly live streams, and I can explain more about why in a minute, but I think I'm hoping to get back to regular live streams like once or twice a month, and bringing back doing Perligo Ponders live and things like that as well. Did I like the new JD song? I liked it a lot. Yeah, it's great. Since you asked, we could talk about that a little bit. For those of you who don't know or don't follow JD recently, and by recently I mean yesterday, put out a song in collaboration with Jay Joseph, who's the brother of Tyler Joseph of 21 Pilots. You may have heard of Tyler Joseph. They put out the song yesterday called Better Dead. It's fantastic. It's one of their best, I think. And these two artists, JD and Jay Joseph, haven't collaborated since 2022, I want to say, when they put out Inverted Forest, which was a song on JD's first album, The Haze. So anyway, it's a great song. Go listen to it. If you like 21 Pilots, you will like this song. It's kind of like rap. It's definitely rap. No word of a music video yet. They did one for Inverted Forest. I would be kind of surprised, honestly, if they didn't do a music video for this song to sort of capitalize further on the collab, but it also might be a little while until they did, because they had Inverted Forest lived for a while before they made the music video. So you got tickets to a JD show in May. That's awesome. Have you been to any JD shows before? Is this your first one? Saw your comment on it. What was my comment on it? I don't remember. Listened to it yesterday. Very nice. What did you guys think of the new song? Those of you who heard it. First one, yeah. So they often come out. I don't know if they still do this. I'm sure they do. I haven't been to a show, unfortunately, in a year or two at this point. Like a year and a half. But I've been to two, and both times they came out. They might be around before the show, and they'll pretty definitely be around after the show at the merch table. Go and chat with them. Go talk to them. They love to talk to their fans. They're super down to earth, very, very friendly. And they are getting bigger. So it's one of those things where you might not have a chance to talk to them later if they get too big. You know what I mean? But I hope they'll keep making that effort to be around and talk to fans. But also, if there are too many fans, even if they are talking to fans, he might not have a chance. But yeah, am I going to the Indians Festival? No, I'm not. I'm not going to be able to go to any of the festivals, unfortunately. So, did I see the 21 Pilots popcorn buckets on the movie? I did. Yeah, they look cool. So I don't know a ton. Look, I'm a pretty avid moviegoer, but I've never gone a popcorn bucket because I almost never buy popcorn when I'm going to see a movie. So I don't actually know sort of how that works. I'm interested in getting the popcorn bucket for this film. I don't know if I would even use it though. I might just get the bucket to have. But are they super limited edition? Are they likely to be sold out? I'm not going to get to see the film until Saturday, which is 2 or 3 days after opening night, and it's a smaller release, so I assume they're not overstocked on the popcorn buckets. So I think there's a chance I won't be able to get one, but I'm hoping to, and then I can have it sitting right here, the background. Got the silver vinyl on Christmas. Got silver on vinyl for Christmas. Wow, I cannot talk. But that's awesome. Yeah, no, it's great. So a fun fact about Better Dead. The night before it released, JD and J. Joseph did a sort of live stream collab on Twitch playing Fortnite. And they were live for a while, and they were talking about this release and their music and stuff like that. And one of the things they mentioned is that this song, Better Dead, was originally supposed to be on Silver. They didn't say why it didn't make it onto the album, but they did say it was originally supposed to be on that album. So that's an interesting aspect to it. I'm trying to think where I would want to put the song on the track list if it were to be on Silver. It might fit just before Echo Chamber. And certainly the fact that they played part of the song in the beginning of the music video for Echo Chamber before Echo Chamber played is probably playing a role in my decision to put it there, but I think that would be cool. Put it before Echo Chamber. Going to the Indians Festival, what do you recommend for me to do there? I've never been to a festival. That's not a question for me. That's a question for the chat. And you could put it in the community tab, honestly, on the channel. I'm sure some other people have been. I've never been to a festival. I've only been to just straightforward concerts. Probably bring a lot of water, I would guess. Probably going to get dehydrated. I don't know. I assume it's like an open air thing. I don't know if there's seating and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I don't actually have a ton of information. I would be asking the same question if I were going to a festival. So, yeah. Yeah, bring a lot of water if they'll let you, because I'm sure it'll be very expensive there. Do we think this song is the start of an era or just a single because 21 Pilots doesn't really do singles? Are you talking about Better Dead? Because that's not a 21 Pilots song. But I get what you're saying. Like 21 Pilots doesn't really do singles, or JD just doing singles. Is that what you're asking? Lots of water and a portable charger. Did you know J. Joseph has vocals on 3 Skeleton Icy songs? I thought it was only Bounce Man. No, it's Bounce Man, No Chances, and Never Take It, I think. It's definitely No Chances. Does JD have lore? Does JD have lore? That's a very good question. Let's see. Does JD have lore? I don't know. Wow, this is not the crop that I wanted, but let's see. Stolen potential. Does JD have lore? I think JD has some lore. Yeah, no, JD definitely has lore. I've made a couple of videos on my own channel about this, and Stolen Potential now is getting into the JD world as well. But yeah, they have lore. It's very cool. It's the start of the story, so it's a great time to kind of get. I mean, the story's underway now, but it's closer to the start of the story than we are to the start of 21 Pilots lore, obviously. So it's a great time to kind of get into their story as it's beginning and starting to build. They have a lot of great music videos that tie into the lore. They have a whole Instagram page dedicated to the lore. You happy now? I don't really subscribe to a lot of channels on my Perligo account, but I guess I should because I've done a video with him now. But yeah, JD's great. I love them. Love their music. Love their story. But yeah, no, it was No Chances, and I think Never Take It were the ones. I think there's some behind the scenes videos of them recording No Chances in Tyler's house. Oh, there's something else I was going to talk about. Well, we were talking about the popcorn buckets. Okay. Have any of you gotten popcorn buckets before at a film? Are they super likely to sell out, or can I expect that there might still be some when I get there? Does my video look like really washed out and bright, or is that just I'm wondering if I have my lights on too harshly. Again, sort of still trying to get back into the rhythm of doing live streaming because it's been a little while. I feel a little rusty. But hopefully I will get a popcorn bucket. And on the note, since we're talking about the film, anyway, kind of the main piece of information and recent news from 21 Pilots is related to the film. Obviously, that's the next big thing that's happening with 21 Pilots. I've been listening to 21 Pilots for like 4 years, but I really got into them in mid-2025, by the way. I'm also going to the movie. Very nice. What prompted you to really get into them in 2025? Be curious to hear that, because I know a lot of people kind of got back into them, were casual fans. Because if it was 4 years, are you talking like just around Skilled and Icy, just after Skilled and Icy? Adam, good to see you. I am still talking. Yeah, of course I'm still talking about 21 Pilots. Bringing in some JD stuff as well, because they're a bit more active right now. But yeah, of course. Why would I stop talking about 21 Pilots? My polling competition. Your old teacher, surprisingly. That's interesting. Was it a Breach song or a Clancy song or what specifically? Like, I'm curious what kind of prompted that specific So, okay, full disclosure. I am very behind on staying up to date with the polling competition. We're in the finals now. So there's going to be 2 more rounds. There's going to be Tally versus Center Mass competing for 3rd place, and then the actual final, which is City Walls versus Drag Path. Now, someone asked somewhere, thoughts on Drag Path versus City Walls on your polling competition. I'm not sure entirely what you're asking. I'm not going to weigh in. I'm not going to give my vote here. I have a vote, but I'm not going to give it. Because obviously I don't... The whole point is for me to not vote on these and see what you guys think. I've ranked all the 21 Pilots songs at this point. So, got to go. See you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Spontaneous stream. Don't expect anyone to actually be able to stick around for this. And again, I'm not actually going to be live super long, but thank you for being here. It's good to see you. It was Overcompensate. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's a good song to get you back into 21 Pilots or get you really into 21 Pilots. Got into 21 Pilots after Clancy came out. It was the first vinyl I ever bought. Awesome. That's great. Do you have more vinyls now? Or is it still just that one? But yeah, in terms of the polling competition, that will be happening this coming week. The match for third place and the finals. You have over 30 albums. Let's go. That's awesome. I don't know if I have that many. I mean, so I have two sort of vinyl collections. I have one that I inherited from a relative that's a ton of very well-loved, let's say, vinyls from the 60s and 70s. And some of that's good. There's some great, like, classical compilations, Chopin, whatever, however you say his name, Chopin. And some other ones that, you know, like some Christmas albums and things like that are great. None of them are artists that I'm particularly into, but some of them are listenable, you know, for my preferences, and some of them are classics. Some film scores as well, so that's good. Chariots of Fire. But I don't necessarily consider that, you know, there's some vinyls in that are brought over to my personal collection, but I don't necessarily consider that to be my vinyl collection in the same way that, you know, my 21 Pilots and JD and IDK How albums are. And I have some Hans Zimmer ones as well. I have The Dark Knight Rises and Man of Steel on vinyl. So I don't know, maybe someday, maybe some stream I can go through my vinyl collection, if anyone would be interested in that, just as a fun, like, I don't think it would be worth making a whole video out of it, but I could do a stream segment just going over that. Most were gifts. Okay, nice. Yeah, that's good. You would watch that? Okay, yeah. I'll bring it into a stream segment. Because that's one of the things. Look, I enjoy live streaming, but there are two reasons. I mentioned I was going to talk about this at the beginning of the stream, and I apologize. This is a very scatterbrained stream. But there are two reasons why I haven't been streaming as much, why I wanted to take a break and then accidentally took a break that was twice as long, and then also why I'm planning to not stream on a weekly basis like I used to. One is just simply because there isn't as much happening with 21 Pilots to talk about. And as part of that, they're just, you know, I don't want to go live and just purely sit here and chat with you guys. I enjoy that, and I like having that as part of the stream segment. It's part of the stream as an overall thing, but I wouldn't want to ever offer you a live stream experience that's just chatting, unless you guys really want that, but I don't think you do. Where it's like, I always want to have that as a segment, but then we also have some additional content that is like news about the movie, which we're about to talk about, or, you know, there's a new JD song, or a stream segment like going over my vinyl collection or something like that, where there's a bit more actually offered by watching this stream. But the other aspect of it is that if I live stream, just given how much time I have to dedicate to YouTube on a weekly basis, if I live stream once a week, that's kind of it for that week. And then it takes away the time that I have to make a video, like a lore breakdown or anything like that. And so for the sake of balancing that out and doing some lore things, doing some song breakdowns, which I'm planning, some actual deep dives into like the lyrics and themes in these songs, not just about the lore and so on, I'm going to move away from doing weekly live streams, but I'm still going to stream on a consistent basis. So hopefully there will be some kind of schedule. I know it is nice to kind of know when someone's going to be live every week. And so if it's more random or sporadic, it's harder for me to stay consistent. It's harder for you guys to actually know it's happening and if you want to be here, to be here. So I might start a new schedule that's like the first and third Friday of every month or whatever it may be. It probably won't be Fridays, but as an example. So, and bringing back doing Perligo Ponders live and things like that instead of as a pre-recorded video, because I enjoy that more. I think that content works really well in a live format. So all that is to say, if you have things you would like to see done in live streams, that's great. Helps give me more ideas. And then also, I forgot the other thing I was going to say. But yeah, if you have ideas for live streams, let me know. And if you have ideas for videos, let me know. But that is helpful, knowing things like a final overview or whatever it may be. What are you faced with the first album I ever bought? Clancy was the second. Trench is the third. Breach is the fourth. Skilled and Icy the fifth. And Silver is the sixth. Wow. I don't know if I even should ever live stream again. I can't even pronounce the word sixth. What is going on with me? Need to count my albums again, but I also have other records that are singles and stuff. Very nice, yeah. Let's try. I have like the Doubt demo single. Singles are cool. We need more singles in the world. Valentine's Day joke? I don't know. Okay. There is a loose concept album by Manchester Orchestra called A Black Mile to the Surface. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. If you kind of have to look up the story, but the album is amazing in general. Cool. Yeah, I've only heard one song by Manchester Orchestra called Bedhead, I think. It's a good song. It's good. For some reason, I listened to it quite a lot for like a year. Never wanted to listen to the rest of the music. Like, never thought about, oh, I should go listen to the rest of the music. So I'll check that out. That's cool. Sorry, just wanted you to see this comment. Do you mean this comment? Yeah. No, thanks for spamming it. That's good. It is a weird word, and I guess I'm just speech impaired or something. I can't say it. Sixth. Well, I'll stop trying. I think while the just chatting is nice, you have more time to do full breakdowns, and other stuff would be great for your consistency and channel in general. Exactly. Yeah. I enjoy this format a lot, but I wouldn't want it to be all I ever do. And there are trade-offs to make. I really want Silver. I think it's still in stock. I was alive when Cassingales were a thing. Cassingles? What's that? Actually bought a Manchester Orchestra album. Do they have vinyls? It's always cool. I always respect a band that has vinyls. I think there was something else I missed up here. Do you think there's some recency bias involved in the polling competition? So this is an interesting question. And at the start of the polling competition, which started back in the days when I was still live streaming, I said there may be recency bias involved in this new competition, given that Breach came out relatively recently. So we're going to start doing these polling competitions on a yearly basis, for one thing, because I think it'll be interesting to see how the results change from year to year. This is our second year doing it, so we already have a year to compare. But also be interesting to look at it next year when there hasn't just been a new album out. I think it is not impossible there was some recency bias. Once the final results are in, I want to do either stream segment or a video, probably a stream segment, going through the polling results of this competition and kind of just looking at the breakdown. Because I remember last year, a lot of people were saying there's some really heavy recency bias going on in the results of this competition. And then we looked at the actual breakdown, and most of the songs in the top 10 or 20 were not from the new album from Clancy. And in fact, most of the songs on Clancy were far down the list. I'm oversimplifying, but that was sort of the general result from the final results of the competition. So this year's a little different. The final 4 songs were all from Breach. That's a little suspicious, I suppose you could say. When it comes to recency bias, I'm inclined to think there has been some, obviously. I wouldn't be surprised. It makes sense. But it also might not be as severe of a bias as it might seem, if that makes sense. So it might be like the top 4 are Breach, and then the rest of the songs from like 5 to 20 are not Breach at all, or even Clancy. You know what I mean? There might be 1 or 2 Clancys in there. I don't know. That's a hypothetical. I haven't done a breakdown and looked at it yet, but that is sort of the point I'm getting at when I'm hedging a bit and saying that the bias might not be as extreme as it looks. But it does seem like there's some real bias. So, and again, that's not surprising. I don't blame anyone for being excited about the Breach songs. That's why we're doing this again next year. Singles on a cassette. That's crazy. Because they were the same size, right? I mean, I guess that makes sense as having a single on a CD. Which, again, you don't see all that much, but is still a thing. And I think you can still buy those from some artists. Has anyone bought the... Okay, Adam, do you have any singles on a cassette still? Because if you do, I'd love to see like a photo of one in the community tab or something like that. I think that'll be really interesting. Obviously, don't feel pressured to upload images of your merch collection, but if you have one and you want to, I'd be really interested in seeing that. Has anyone seen this new line of vinyls at Target called the Tiny Vinyls or something like that? Have you heard about this? Let me see if I can bring some up really quickly. None of the artists... There's a band I like that still sells singles. What band is that? None of the artists in this like new thing, the Tiny Vinyls, that have been published so far really interested me. So I didn't buy any, but it's an interesting concept. The format? You have them in storage. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Never mind that. Let me see. What's one that I can pull up? Hang on a second. I doubt any of you are even interested in this, but I am, so... Okay, so like... I don't actually listen to Melanie Martinez. I think there is some crossover sometimes between fans of 21 Pilots and fans of Melanie Martinez. Bro, Honey. Okay, real quick. I've uninstalled Honey like 3 times. Why is it still showing up in my browsers? Does anyone know? I installed it like 5 years ago, back when everyone was getting Honey, and then everyone realized that it was useless. And now it won't leave my computer. It is locked in. Anyway. Yeah, Honey's really sus. I've disabled it, so I don't think it's doing anything. Hopefully. Yeah, jump scare. But I don't know, man. Yeah, Adam. Okay. So anyway, it's a new version of singles, but they're tiny. And they're just 4 inches. And I don't know, do they even have B-sides? Oh, they do. Okay, well, that's good. That's something at least. But it's this new Target thing. That, I don't know. I think it's cool. I would have bought one, except for none of the artists that they've done, that they've published these from interest me. I don't listen to any of them actively, but if they do a 21 Pilots one, I would definitely buy one, or other artists that I like as well. Even if they did like a classical music one or a film score, maybe they'll do the Odyssey. There'll be like the theme song from the Odyssey or something. The theme track from the Odyssey will be one of these. I don't know. They're a cool concept. They're a little silly. I'm trying to see if there's like, are there more images? Is this it? Do they show them on a turntable? Wow. I do? Okay. Anyway, that's, I guess, as big as it gets. Yeah, so they do work in vinyl players. They kind of look like CDs, but they do work in vinyl players. They're just 4 inches. They're tiny. But I guess it's that. I don't know if you can even see that. I can't make it any bigger, but I'm just curious I doubt any of you have bought them, but if you have, I'd be curious to know what your experience with them is like, if they're worth buying. Shyway versus next semester. Next semester. Well, yeah, I think next semester. Got into the format after hearing an unreleased Taking Back Sunday song called Follow the Format. Oh, got into the format. See, this is getting confusing. Because when you say the format, I think you're talking about the format of cassettes. Or single cassettes, not the format the band. But that's cool. I will have to check out the format. Seems like got some avid fans of those. Gotta get ready for work. Just want to pop in and say hello. See you soon, Perligo. Thanks for being here, Adam. It's always good to see you. All right, let's actually look at the stuff that I was planning to talk about, mainly because it is interesting. It wasn't just filler for the stream. I did actually want to talk about this. So this is really cool. So obviously we know the film's coming out in a week and a half from now, something like that. I should drop shirt merch? Me? Would you buy shirt merch? What would you want? See, okay. Getting distracted again. I have a mug, right? Or maybe a couple mugs. I have a mug, and that's basically it. I have some mugs, maybe a sticker. I'm willing to put out more merch. I don't really know what to put on the merch. But if you have ideas, I'm happy to. But yeah, I put it there just sort of because it was pretty easy to set up. I don't really expect anyone's actually going to be buying Perligo merch, but if you want some, I can. And I like the mug. The reason I put the mug up is because I actually wanted one of these mugs. Anyway. Mark Eshelman did the work on the new film that's coming out in a week and a half. And he recently, he's been doing a press tour, which I made a video about. He's been posting more updates on social media and things like that. And he put this out on Blue Sky, I think, which was then reposted to Reddit and everything. People were talking about it. But this is I'm really glad he actually addressed this question, and I'm even happier with his response. But for a while, people have been obviously asking about the live stream experience. Will that ever be on a physical media? Still don't know. Hopefully it will, but who knows? But someone asked him about More Than We Ever Imagined, and will that ever get a physical release or be on streaming? And Mark said, I'm a huge fan and collector of physical media. I really, really hope so, and will be pushing for it. So it's not a guarantee, obviously. I think we're still looking at like a 50-50 chance that it will be. But at least there's a chance now. And in the past, I haven't really felt like there's a chance that we would get the Skeleton IC thing on physical media. I thought there was like a 10% chance that would happen. I really want it to. I'm sure it would sell out. I'm sure a lot of people would buy it. But yeah, I'm really happy to see that it might be something that we get physical media for. Hopefully a Blu-ray. Probably, if they're going to do a DVD, I'm sure they're going to do a Blu-ray and maybe a 4K disc. I mean, if it's being presented in IMAX, the picture quality's got to be good. So definitely something I'm going to snag for my collection if it comes out. As in terms of streaming, I'd be curious to know what they do with that. I don't actually know where other concert films have gone. I think like Taylor Swift did a concert film and that ended up on Disney Plus. And then yeah, I don't know where they go. Maybe like Hulu. Well, that's Disney now, isn't it? Peacock, probably not. Netflix, maybe. HBO, I don't know. I'm less interested in the streaming side of it because streaming's so fickle. Even if it hits streaming, it might be taken down in a couple months. So I really hope they actually get the physical release going. I know it's been a while since its release, but I just got listening to Forever Phase, and it's great. Did you listen to it back then? Yeah. Yeah, I did a very short stream segment the day after it came out talking about it. I like it. I've only really returned to a couple of the songs. Like, it's not fully my style of music, but some of them I do like. And it's just cool to see him doing stuff again. Did you see somebody posted it on YouTube? Forever Phase or something else? The film? Like a bootleg copy? That's not great. For those who don't know, Forever Phase is Paul Meany's album that came out in the fall, just after Breach. And Paul Meany co-produced Breach and Clancy and Trench and parts of Skilled and Icy, I think. Oh, the Skilled and Icy live stream. I see. Is that still up? I feel like people keep posting it and it instantly gets taken down. But that's cool. I mean, yeah, I expect it's only a matter of time till it gets stricken with copyright. But can you make stickers? I can. What would you want on the stickers? Just my logo? Because the thing is, I suspect, and I would be very nervous about using any kind of 21 Pilots imagery that isn't in public domain on a merch item, right? I don't think I can sell a merchandise item with their branding on it. Like, legally speaking or ethically speaking, I don't know how that really works. Even if it's sort of a creative interpretation of it or anything like that. There might be some things in public domain, like images from the Bourbaki group or something like that I could somehow implement. Things like that. Or something that's stylistically similar. But, or a white or black shirt with your logo in the Clancy red and yellow color wave and outlined or something. Okay. Thoughts on people like the Raven Below who try to imitate the sound of 21 Pilots but have the talent? Do you think they should make their own sound? I don't know who that is. But I would be inclined to say, yeah, they should probably try to make their own sound. I mean, I understand trying to imitate something that is already successful, at least to start, but then being able to find your own voice and style after that is probably good. Excuse me. So, but yeah, I haven't actually heard them, but without having heard them, that would be my thinking. That was the main tweet from Mark that I wanted to talk about. Now there is a video from the band. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to hear it though, because this was the other audio thing I was trying to troubleshoot before going live, and I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, if I do this, is there an echo? I don't know if that even allows for this to be heard, but okay. So, hang on.
I'm Josh.
I'm Tyler.
Can you hear that? Can you hear me? Is everything still running properly? Yes, all good. All good. Awesome. That's crazy. I am shocked. All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Tyler.
We're in a band called 21 Pilots, and we made a movie. And it's about a sold-out show that we played in Mexico City. It was amazing, unforgettable for us. It features the show and some behind-the-scenes moment of Tyler and I wondering if we can perform.
Let's be honest, the movie is about two scared little boys.
And you're gonna like that.
Yep.
It's vulnerable.
Yeah, there's everything in it.
There's
action.
There's action. There's romance.
There's bromance.
Yeah.
There's they're taking the ring to Mordor.
You're gonna want to see it. It's got everything. February 26th at your local theater with some limited IMAX previews on February 25th.
Yep.
You can get your tickets now.
So anyway, I thought that was cool. I hadn't actually seen it, but I thought it was cool that they did a little promo video. Very excited to see the film when it comes out. Very excited to see it in IMAX as well. Taking the Ring to Mordor. Awkward silence. Timothy Chalamet is in the movie, confirmed. How is that connected to Mordor? That would be crazy. Timothy Chalamet jump scare. He's just in the front row in Mexico City. The fan base is nasty. Yeah. Parts of it. I think that's all I'm going to say. It's getting very, very heated and controversial. It seems to me to be a very, very loud group of people on Twitter, and that's about it. So, but I haven't, I don't really pay attention a ton to that side of things. I'm not really active on Twitter anyway. So, is Bilbo pulling up? That would be cool. Martin Freeman's there. Everyone's there. All the famous actors. They're just there in Mexico City, chilling. Should people be singing along in theater? I think you should see what the vibe of the auditorium is when you're there. I think if everyone else is kind of in that vibe, yeah, that's great. But if people are trying to just sit there and kind of soak up the film itself without hearing other people singing along, then, tone it back a bit. You can also see if there are groups online going to, or online or offline, whatever, going to the same theater that you are. So you can arrange to go to a particular showing, Yes, Donald Trump was there. Mexico City. Confirmed. Yep. But yeah, it looks really cool. And some of the images, I don't know if I can pull one up quickly because I'm about to actually end here. But some of the images from the auditorium, like the IMAX theater where they did the premiere, looked really, really cool. Great shots. I think I reposted one to Instagram. Anyway, very excited. Very much looking forward to this. Ned was there. I'm still here because of Tyler and Josh. Lots of us. Yeah, there were also 21 Pilots fans at the concert, which is probably the craziest part. So I think they said it was their biggest show. Yeah, 65,000 people, something like that. So anyway, looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. I may or may not be live again before the film. At some point, I will be live after the film comes out, and I will do a review of that. In the meantime, bit of a shameless plug, but speaking of film reviews, I am currently working on building up my second channel called Perligo Review, which delves into film more and things like that. Some just general commentary, some philosophy stuff on the way as well. But if you are interested in any of that, you can find out more you can find more content from me on Perligo Review. But if you're not, then don't. And there will be more content coming on the main channel, obviously. What's your prediction for the next album style? Classical trombone. Wasn't some guy named Josh there? No. No, in fact, they had a ban against anyone named Josh. It's just... They just... Part of what they had to do. I don't know. Don't ask me. Jazz album? Maybe. Maybe. I don't think it'll be a jazz album. I think it'll be sort of... Well, I don't really know. I've never been able to successfully guess what they're doing next. Every song like Lavish, maybe. I think it will be more like Lavish and other songs like Lavish on Clancy. That's my prediction. But yeah. that being said, thank you all for tuning in. This is just a short screen. This was a short scream. This is a short stream. Just kind of getting back into it. I'm glad you all showed up. Glad we could hang out and chat for a little bit. It was great to hear from all of you. I feel like I've been very out of touch with the audience here for a little while. So it's great to get back to streaming and everything like that. I'll be streaming again probably in like 2 weeks. Yes, screen reference. And we'll be doing... We didn't have time to do it today. More Perligo Ponders is on the way. There's a backlog of questions I want to get to that are really interesting comments and theories that you guys have put out. So I'm behind on that, so they'll kind of be catching up on that. I'll be catching up on that over the next few weeks and hopefully doing more of that live. And yeah, there'll be a new video on Monday, which is interesting. And then film review at some point and so on. So thank you all for being here and have a good weekend. I am going to the movie. Yes, of course. It's an IMAX film with 21 Pilots. Why would I not be going? Have your money ready for the merch. All right. Sounds good. I am watching the movie. No, I'm going to go and not watch. I'm going to go with a blindfold and just listen to it. All right. Farewell.